All right, we back. Back at it with another episode of So Shameless. This one is about to be real special for me and particularly. You know what I'm saying? 2018 been treating me kind of well. You know what I mean? I haven't caught any STDs yet. Um, I'm still got a job. I still got a place to stay. It's fucked up as a black man. That's really the measure of how good I'm doing in life right now. You know what I'm saying? Um, I've been working on this motherfucking episode for a while. For a while. Being a supportive friend to my homeboy who's locked up. Just been checking in with him a lot. You know what I'm saying? You know, don't want to do too much. Don't want to do too little. You know, with this hyper masculinity shit we got, it's kind of hard nowadays to ask another man, "Are you okay? You know, how you doing? How you feeling?" You know, nigga respond with, "Yo, my nigga, what you talking about? Well, yo, stop talking to me like that, you fucking faggot." You know, that's how we talk to each other. That's our terms of endearment. You know, we call each other stupid. We call each other faggot. We call each other dumb because, you know, it's too much to dig underneath that and say, "Yo, my nigga, are you okay?" You know. So I've been dealing with this situation with my homeboy, and I just been kind of just sitting back and watching a lot of people coming at his neck and watching his name get dragged through the media in a situation where I wasn't there, but you know, I kind of know what's going on, and I can't protect him. Can't say too much because he's going through a court situation, and it hurts. It hurts to see somebody you love go through some shit, you know. And that's on both sides. That's on the victim side. That's on the antagonist side, protagonist side, whatever. Um, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about Taxstone. Very good brother to me. You know, somebody who is younger than me but has been able to. He just gives me so many jewels and gems, and you know, even when we argue, sometimes we argue. I mean, one time I was like, "Fuck you," you know, whatever. And he came back at it. He was like, "Yo, I ain't even trying to do that to you. I ain't even trying to do that with you. I'm trying to tell you, step your game up. You're a grown man. It's time for you to be who you supposed to be. You ain't gotta hide who you are." You know what I'm saying? And coming from a person like him that's been through so much, and me, I've been through some shit, but I've been on the up and up for most of my life lately. You know, I mean, for the latter years of my life, and to hear somebody tell me, "Yo, come on, you know, my nigga, like just go do what you got to do." You know, you more talented than that. You know, I remember he was locked up years ago, um, and he sent me the manager's name for Naima Supreme. He hadn't seen my work, but he believed in it. He had heard what I was doing as far as shooting videos, and he sent me the name of Naima Supreme's manager and was like, "Yo, I want you to work with her. I want you to go down to her video shoots. I want you to, you know, shadow her, see what you can do over there, you know." And I always appreciated that, just for the fact that he was trying to build me up, trying to support me, trying to get me, you know, in the right place for my life. Years later now, I sit and watch what's going on with him in the media. He's been locked up for a year, and I'm just trying to return the favor. I'm trying to show him that the words that he's given me over the years actually mattered, that they don't fall on deaf ears, right? This world is a cold, cruel world, man. Being a person that's been on social media for a long time, I feel like social media is a different type. It's like a virtual road rage. People get on there and they say whatever the fuck they want because they think you won't find them. They think that you can't do nothing. It's almost like when you're driving in your car and a motherfucker in front of you, or you know, pulls up too close behind you, rides right on your ass. You know, like, "Yo, hold up, why is you riding me like this? Why is you testing me?" You know, people cut you off in traffic. You know, they fuck you. You know, you ever had somebody throw you the bird, flip you the bird or some shit like that, and you like, "Nigga, do you know I have a bat in my trunk? I will kill you." But you don't know this person. Y'all ain't got no history. They don't have nothing to do with your life. You know, that's social media. All these people acting like they super tough, acting like they, you know, they killers. Everybody got money. Everybody the flyers. Everybody getting so much sex. Everybody's having so much sex. Everybody's perfect on social media. You know, I watched this shit over years, and I used to react. I remember one time I was arguing with a dude in New Zealand. I was like, come at me, nigga. I'm ready to do whatever. Looked at his location. This nigga's in New Zealand. Played myself. What the fuck am I talking about? Why you don't just block this nigga, man? You know? What I'm talking about is seeing all these people talk crazy on the internet. One thing I don't want to do. I've been to prison before. I wasn't there for a long time. But when a motherfucker asks you what you were there for, I don't want to say it's because a nigga said some crazy shit to me on Twitter. Right? Or said some crazy shit about my friend on Twitter. So I kind of been quiet. And I've been watching all of these. I go on YouTube and you watch the things about what happened that night on YouTube, or you go on Twitter and you hear all these people talking shit about how stupid this person is. This, that, and other. Like, we don't realize who this person is. This person got friends. This person has created the lane single-handedly. You think all these people believe in this person for no reason? This man affected a lot of people positively. Yes. We all have our issues. I'm not going to deny that. We all have our issues in life. But let the first person, the most perfect person, right? What they say, throw the first stone. I don't remember the shit because, like he said, I'm slower than turtle shit. But let he without sin cast the first stone. We all got our shit to deal with. Unfortunately, some of ours is on the media. Some of ours is in the blogs. So we can all say, oh, he's this or he's that. But you really don't even know. All you hearing is what they saying. With that being said, I've been working with my homeboy for a while, for a couple weeks now, trying to get him on the line so that he could just talk about some things, give him an avenue, because at the end of the day, that was his passion. Doing his podcast, I remember at first doing his podcast, he wasn't really sure. You know, I mean, he always knew that he had the gift of gab, but he wasn't really sure if that's what he wanted to do or, you know, how it was going to work out, if the industry was going to accept him. He just wasn't sure. He was like, yo, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do, you know, see what happens. And I remember after his first episode, he was like, yo, nigga, I did 20,000. I don't remember if it was the first day or the first week. But he was like, yo, 20,000. We was laughing like, yo, 20,000. Nigga, I have yet to reach that number. And I'm okay with that because in speaking to him in these last weeks, I realized that he's special. I'm special. I'm special too, but he's special. He's done the work, as XD said. He reads, he studies. And I just really, and even when talking to him, I'm in awe of how intelligent he is. Even in ignorance, sometimes when we talk or we laugh or we joke, he'll dish you so bad. It's like, yo, I remember one time on the internet, he called me a female monkey and he called me like a primate. And I had to Google what a primate was. How the fuck you come up with a word like that when we talking shit about each other? Don't call me no fucking monkey, nigga. Fuck is you? You don't call me no fucking monkey, okay? You speak English. So we've been talking on the line. You know, since he's been through a slight ordeal in there, so y'all hear about that. And we've been trying to connect so many times. I remember one time when it first snowed, for those of y'all who know me, y'all know I work for the city. So when it snowed, I'm out there doing that, and he calls me thinking that, I'm going to be able to record the fucking conversation. And I'm out working from 7 to 7 at night. Couldn't record the conversation. Matter of fact, I couldn't even accept the call. I tried to accept the call. He had me download this record app for the shit. And the shit hung up on him. I was hurt. I was so fucking hurt, man. Because I'm like, yo, I really want this opportunity to talk to this man. He has done no interview since he's been in there. He's spoken to Miko, his co-host, his partner in crime. I love Miko. As a matter of fact, where you at? Because you were supposed to be here for this. I tried to tell you to hit me up. You didn't hit me up. I should have hit you up too, but, like placing blame on other people. I'm the guilt trip king. So here, take this trip. Help you pack your bags. See you later, Miko. So yeah, he kept trying to call me. I wouldn't be home. I would be at work. One time, I'm on my way to Kwanzaa with my family. I tried to pick up the phone. I hit the phone too hard, and the shit answered and hung up real quick. I was too anxious. I pressed the button too fucking hard, and it still burns. What do you call it? What do the white people say? It burns my fucking bridges. Okay, I was hurt. I finally got him on the line after doing a show last week with No Cum Girl and the K Vega. And we spoke for about 15 minutes, and the phone hung up. Shit hurt my heart when the phone hung up because he was going so hard. He just showing like, yo, damn. It's like you talking. It's like God answered back. It's not Jesus, but it's like the words are just burning a hole in your soul when he's talking to you. Just like, damn, why is he so smart? You know, kind of nigga you don't want your bitch around. Make you feel stupid. Make you look dumb. Your bitch be like, yo, you ain't studying or something? Like, you know, this nigga's intelligent. I don't want nobody complimenting my nigga like that. He's too fucking smart. Damn. So call after call and try after try, the man been trying to call me. Phone hanging up. Whatever issues that we was having, if I wasn't home or whatever. And we finally got it together. We finally pieced it all together. And I'm about to let y'all hear his thoughts on several things, and the things that's going on in the media, things that's happened personally with him while he was in there, while he's in jail waiting to go on trial, things that have been on his mind, right? And it's an honor, it's a supreme honor to be a part of this. Matter of fact, I just texted him and said, yo, I don't even know what I did to deserve this type of recognition from you, this chance, because obviously a lot of people going to wind up listening to this episode because he hasn't done any interviews since he's been in there, besides with Miko. For those of you who are regular listeners of So Shameless, this is not a regular So Shameless episode. You know, normally you hear me talking mad shit. We laugh, we joke, we crack this, that, and the other. No, this is more like an interview. I wanted to give my homeboy a platform to talk his mind, and I only had 15-minute increments to make that happen. So I just wanted to ask questions and let him talk. Ask questions, let him talk. This wasn't, you know, well, if we had more time, we could have a conversation. I really didn't think that the world needed a conversation. Y'all hear me every week, and he's been starving. The coach has been thirsty for Taxstone. So I wanted to give y'all a faucet and give y'all an opportunity to just hear the brilliance of my homeboy. The phone hung up a few times while we was talking, so if the conversation gets a little, you know, weird at first, you know, the shit hung up, and then we trying to figure out and get back into it, whatever. Bear with me, my nigga. You know, I didn't use too much. I didn't do too much. I wanted him to do him. With that being said, we're going to get into this shit. Thank you for everybody who fuck with me. Thank you for everybody who's supporting what I'm doing out here. Talk to me. Talk to me on Twitter, Tahoe _ shit. No, that's Instagram. I'm wilding. I'm Reality Bites on Twitter. You can actually just use the hashtag So Shameless or So Shameless Pod, and you know, speak on how you feel about this episode and things that's being said. And you know, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Taxstone.
This call is from a federal prison.
What's good though, my nigga? Like, how you spent your motherfucking New Year's? I mean, you reading or some shit?
I went to sleep at 10:30. I woke up at 7 in the morning.
This shit crazy. Like, you motherfucking been in there for a year now. You know I'm recording this shit.
Yeah, January 17th here, they locked me up on Martin Luther King birthday.
Was it?
I'd really be a revolutionary.
I swear it was like the 5th, nigga. It was like the 5th.
I got locked up on January 17th.
Did you know that they was fucking coming? Like, did you have any idea that they was coming?
No, I didn't. You never know when the feds is coming, you know. No, I didn't know.
You know, motherfucking Combat. You know when Combat has passed on and shit.
This call is from a federal prison.
Yeah, the legend, Combat Jack. Good brother, mentor. I mean, great father, great teacher, intellectual. You know what I mean? Taught me a lot, and he rode for me. I really appreciate people like him. You know what I mean? It ain't too many loyalists out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. When I seen you, you know, we seen you, showed you the picture and shit like that. Nobody was really expecting him to pass. And the shit, you know, his partner Ed Woods passed too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I heard. That was crazy. Unbelievable.
I ain't go to the wake though.
Cancer's a serial killer, you know what I mean? Like, cancer's just, it's like touching everybody. There's no real way to really prevent it, you know what I mean? It's just when you get it, you gotta fight it, and you just gotta know that you could go or you might stay, you know what I mean? You know, it really hurt me to see combat like that when I seen his Instagram and seen how much weight he lost, you know what I mean? But it's just like, I'm just happy that, you know what I mean, he still looked like he had joy in him, you know what I mean?
Yeah, facts. You know, yeah, the nigga took a pose. Like, this is me with cancer pose type shit. Yeah, but the nigga went out.
He always kept God human, you know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
That's how it's supposed to be, though. You gotta go out like a G, you know what I mean?
The nigga, I learned a lot from the nigga, but one of the most things, and shit, the same shit that I learned from you is like, y'all studiers of the fucking game. Like, y'all are really students of the game so much that y'all able to educate other people. I motherfucking try to read. I fall asleep while I read. I asked you what you do in there. You said you read about 5 books a week. Like, how do you take in that much information, my nigga?
You got to. Because, you know, when you finish school, you quit school, whatever it might be, you can never stop informing yourself. Like, knowledge doesn't stop. Knowledge is truly the power, you know what I mean? But, you know, some people think they're smart because academically they might have passed, you know, their regents or, you know what I mean, the SATs or, you know, they got their diploma, they have their degree, so they think like I'm smart and the education stops there and the rest of the things they put in their head is nothing but entertainment, you know what I mean? So I always try to educate myself on different things. That's why I can always speak about different subjects, you know what I mean, and not be too much out the loop. It's kind of embarrassing when you're having a conversation with somebody and you don't know completely what they're talking about, especially if it's a subject that's actually valid to a wide group and a wide range of people. So I feel like you always got to have the information. There's a lot of guys in here that they don't have any information because they spend their time just working out all day. And when you work out your physical all day, you don't work out your mental, you become a vegetable, you know what I mean? So you can look strong physically, but mentally you have nothing there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's me. Like, I realized that I kind of trained my brain to read 140 characters. I don't know if you know, now Twitter got 280 characters, but...
Yeah, I heard. You slower than turtle shit, man. You got to start reading.
Yo, how you find that kind of adjective? Yo,
you know they said if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book, and that's the only quote I need to ever hear. You know what I mean? I'm like, don't hide shit from me. So I read everything. You know what I mean? Everything. I don't care what come across. You know what I mean? I just read the Quran twice. I still read the Bible. You know what I mean? I've read the Bible probably over, who knows, 50 times maybe already. You know what I mean? I like good books. I like good history, you know what I mean? I love to stay in tune with history because history definitely repeats itself.
If you were to name 3 books that change your life, what would they be? Or change your perspective?
Oh man, damn! So there's so many. It can't really just be 3. It's like 20. You know what I mean? Like there's so many. A lot of them are Black history. You know what I mean? I'm really into Black history. You know what I mean? I love Asada Shakur. You know what I mean? I like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You know what I mean? It's so many, man. I can't even, for real, I don't even know my top. You know what I mean? The Road to Stardom, I think that's oh man, Huey P. Newton. You know what I mean? I'm really into the history of us because it's like once you learn the history of us, you know what we need to do and what we need to learn and the direction that we need to go in order not to repeat that history. You understand? Like I was in there talking to some dudes the other day, and like when everybody, most of the guys, the black guys especially, talk about wealth. They run the entertainers, and it's like entertainers are like at the bottom of the barrel of wealth. So I never understood why so many people in here, like, you know, like they talk about wealth and they just bring up the Migos or something, you know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, like, you know, Bob Johnson's a billionaire, like, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, why we not talking about him? It's just so much, you know, I think especially with blacks, we get blinded by entertainment, and we think that's the ceiling for success. You know what I mean? I got so many people in here, CEOs, that come up to me, oh, you had the world in your hands, and it was like, yo, you really felt like I had the world in my hands? If you felt like I had the world in my hands, it's because you probably don't even have a pinch of dust under your fingernails, because I never had the world in my hands. You understand?
Man, how is it in there? Like with people that walk past you, say you text them, do they treat you a certain way? Do they sit and listen? Because you got a lot of information. Do they take in that information? Do they challenge you? Like, what is your interactions like in that motherfucker?
I try to talk to a lot of the young kids, because a lot of the young kids are really like embedded in gang culture, and I try to explain to them, you know what I mean, why the gang culture is like idiotic and it's just dumb, and it's just, you know, it's basically it's self-genocide, you know what I mean? Because they look up to guys that's maybe 50 years old, have been in jail for 25 years and never touched an iPhone screen before, you know what I mean? They look up to guys that when they come home, they live with their grandmother, so they gotta have sex real quiet, put a pillow over the girl's head because she can't moan too loud, you know what I mean? And I'm like, you can't look up to people like that. So I ask shit like this, like, what's your favorite movie? And guys will say shit like, yo, Menace to Society is my favorite movie. And I'll be like, yo, why? They be like, yo, I just love Old Dog, he was so gangster. And then I ask them, I'll be like, yo, what you about? You about being gangster or you about money? And they say shit like, you know, I'm about money. So I'll be like, why the fuck you like Old Dog for? Old Dog was broke. You know what I mean? Old Dog was a broke gangster. He was in the liquor store shooting Asians because they said something about his mother taking $60 from him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Why would Tupac and Juice be the person you looked up to? Because all he had to his name was some 40 below Timberlands and a 38. You know what I mean? So it's just certain things. I think if we stop idolizing certain things, that, you know, things could change within our culture. You know what I mean?
Son, that's so much. That says so much, man. This world is crazy. They said 2017 is the year of the woman. As a matter of fact, when I was speaking to you about educating myself, you said, yo, you got to learn woman, you got to learn gays, you got to learn white people. Tell me why you think those three things are these things that are like so prevalent, are taking over in society, and why people need to educate themselves on it.
Man, I feel like, you know, I think it should be. I think it should be the century of women. You know what I mean? Women rule the world. I talk about women all the time in a constructive criticism way, and like, you know, a certain weak women think I'm bashing them, but it's like, no, I'm not bashing. I'm trying to give you an outlet of intellect from a man's perspective, so you can understand how we think, and for women to do better, and how much we hold them on a pedestal. You know, they the nucleus. Everything revolves around women. You know what I mean? And I feel like, especially in American culture, not just American culture, Middle Eastern culture, it's like we hold women at a subdivision. Like we hold them like, you know, like look at Hillary. Like, you know, Hillary could have never did. She could have, maybe what if she would have never called us super predicates and did all the shit she did, and she was just the best candidate. She still probably wouldn't have been president, because they don't like women. You know what I mean? They allowed black men to vote before they allowed white women to vote. You know what I mean? So women still couldn't vote when black men could vote. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, that's
so
right.
It's just certain shit that it's like, yo, the world is like almost against women, and I still don't understand why. Like, you know, as a guy that's in prison, you always have women that hold you down. You know what I mean? I always wonder why dudes in rap songs be like, fuck bitches, and I love my niggas. I don't know why so many dudes love their niggas so much, because I'd be like, yo, your nigga don't suck your dick, he don't wash your drawers, he don't visit you every day. You know what I mean? I was just in the box, and I seen the girls going on visits. It used to be about 5 girls going on visits. So I asked the CEO, I was like, yo, who's coming to see these women? Is it women or men? And they were like, oh, one man, and it's one of the girls' dads. You know what I mean? It's never really men. Like, men are not completely loyal. Women are loyal. Women are loyal to men. I don't think women are too loyal to women. And I think if women were more loyal to women, also things could possibly change, because women have such catty attitudes and want to be in a race for a man. You know what I mean? I think a lot of things that come from women are the race to, you know what I mean, to be wanted by a man or be accepted by a man. You know what I mean? Or just have man companionship.
Son, fucking women, somebody said to me that men are women's biggest threat, and I was like, in all honesty, women to me are women's biggest threat, because if once they band together, they could take over everything, but they're really so catty and love pulling each other down. Like that's how I feel.
I feel like women rule the world, but they just don't allow themselves to take over it. They allow men to stay in that position of power because a lot of women are submissive and they don't mind us handling things, but they control the narrative. You know what I mean? Things shift when the woman says no or when she says yes, or you know what I mean? Women do control the world, but it's just the men are so dominant. Like for instance, like what's going on right now in the news with all the sexual harassment and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the thing is that these dudes gain power so they can manipulate women. You know what I mean? A lot of this
call is from a federal prison.
for women. We try to look good for women. We want to get money because we know women want men with money. You know what I mean? They need security. There's certain things, so they control things. It's just that they don't take the position to control things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolute fact. You're talking about taking power over. You know, yesterday was the Haitian Independence Day, and it's crazy.
Shout out to the Haitians. Stop by say, Popcorn George.
Yeah, I was reading up on this shit. Like, yo, that's the first time in history where the slaves took over the shit and took power on their own. Like, they literally, it was just a whole revolt. It took a long time for this shit to happen, but that's the first time in history that shit happened. Tell me your thoughts about that shit.
I think that was powerful. You know, they faded the French. You know what I mean? And it's definitely, we gotta always respect the Haitians for that. You know what I mean? The only thing I don't respect Haitians for is the purple. You know what I mean? Everything else is cool.
Wait, you said that you don't. What you said? The only thing you don't respect them for is what?
The purple potato salad. You know what I mean? Everything else is good with the Haitians. You know what I mean? I got very loyal Haitian friends. You know, the Haitian women, they have good vaginas. You know what I mean? They make good breakfast. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with the Haitians.
Yeah, I love me a Haitian woman. I ain't gonna hold you, man. So there's a lot of people that been waiting to hear you speak, my nigga. And shit, I ain't gonna lie. I motherfucking hung up the phone on you twice by mistake in the last week, son. I just be tight. This nigga's cursing me out in text message.
Yeah, because you a stupid ass nigga. You a stupid ass nigga. That's one thing about you.
This nigga like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with your jack? If you have things to say, right, there's been a lot of speculation. Your name has come up several times in the last week on year-end wrap-ups, and Uncle Murda said something to you, said something, Joe Budden said something, Charlemagne the God said something. If a lot of people...
Yo.
Yeah. All right.
It's good.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you about... this nigga Charlemagne was on Brilliant Idiots, and he was saying how you were supposed to be on the Joe Budden episode on Everyday Struggle, the show with Joe Budden and academics. He said that was originally supposed to be you. Was that something that was in the plans?
Well, you know, I'm not really like, I was doing work with Complex. You know, I had started the show The Pull Up, which I had curated, and I still got more episodes to it that I didn't put out or whatever, but that was what I was doing with Complex. So I was trying to do other things, but I never really discussed doing the show exactly with Joe Budden, you know what I mean? But it was something that I would have done. You know, I was with Joe Budden prior to the day before I got locked up. I was with Joe Budden Sunday SOBs.
Right. So y'all have, you know, Joe has spoken about you several times, all positively, by the way. But he has said things like, you know, especially when Combat died, that he felt for you being in that situation when somebody that's somewhat of a mentor to you passed. So he definitely had positive things to say about you. I'm assuming that y'all really worked out y'all issues from the initial.
No, I never. You know, when people get misconstrued about disputes or disagreements, is that people start to think you have beef, and I think that's what's hurting a lot of things too. People as spectators push them to fight and push them into issues. Like, I didn't have beef with Joe Budden. Like, we had a disagreement on the show, and it was actually over after that. We always had a friendly, you know what I mean, go back and forth type relationship where we would joke with each other. So it was never no beef with me and Joe Budden. It never was like I'm going to see Joe Budden and we're going to fight type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Besides, I think that was the misconception of the internet, what people seen. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, there are a lot of say misconceptions about who's in your corner, who's not in your corner. Is there anybody that's reached out to you since you've been in there that like you shocked? Anybody that's shocked to be on your side, or has anybody that you thought would be down for you that has like stepped away? Do you feel that type of energy?
Nah, but in jail, that's just something that's natural. Being in jail is almost like dying. You know what I mean? To people that's in freedom, people that's in civilization, and they're just living their lives. So you just gotta honor those that do. Deal with you on a day-to-day basis while you're still in jail, reach out to you and just show they love. But a lot of people show love. Like, not that many people have, strayed away. Like, Like, I've been in there for a year, January 17th, and, I've gotten major support from people. Like, Nipsey reach out to me often. I speak to Wale. Like, a lot of people, hit me up. I speak to Kodak. PNB Rock shows me love, throw me money. Like, It's just a lot of people show me love. It's a couple people that I was shocked about, maybe, that I haven't spoken to or stuff like that. Like Sophie Green, she was one of the people that was always on my show. I would have co-hosts. Like, I haven't heard from her.
This call is from a federal prison.
Yeah, I haven't heard from her, stuff like that. But it's nothing shocking either. And I'm not holding any malice towards them. I'm not mad at them, because I always tell people, when somebody shows you who they are, just believe it. I never was a person that holds grudges too long. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I hate this person because they're not reaching out to me or they're not speaking to me. I don't care, because in my mind, I'm more free than most of these people. A lot of these people are in freedom. They have freedom, but they're still mentally in prison because they're not where they want to be. They're not successful. They lust success, but they can't get it. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not mad at people, the people that are not reaching out. Combat was a strong supporter of me through any ordeal I was in. I love him dearly, you know what I mean? Because he was a guy that used to hit me up just to see where my mental was at. Like, how are you doing? Like, I don't care about anything but what's going on in your brain. And this was even when I was in the street. That's why I have so much love for Combat, you know what I mean? He really, guided me through the industry and told me, what to do and what not to do. And, you know what I mean? I love teachers. I love the people that teach, because I tell you how many older guys are in the neighborhoods that they don't teach. They just show you the nonsense. And when we younger, we like the nonsense. When you're younger, you don't have much freedom because you're under the umbrella of your parents. So you might look up to the guy that's on the bench that has no curfew, or you can just drink freely. And there's things that you might want to do, but you can't because you're under the umbrella of your parents. So anytime I get a rabbi or a guy that teaches me, a Styles Peters teaching me health and teaching me not to say certain things and move certain ways, I always cherish those relationships. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah. There aren't that many leaders or role models out here right now. Being in there and you looking at the state of the way things are right now in the street, right? And the way things are right now in the culture. What do you think the culture needs? You were a person who really spearheaded back New York rap, real shit going on in the game. What do you see from in there that you think people need to step up and do in this culture?
I think people just need to, what happens in life is that, it's a boss mentality that everybody wants. And I think sometimes, instead of just jumping up to try to be the boss or the leader, I think you might need to be a follower first, because sometimes you got to follow first in order to learn how to lead. Sometimes you have to be the employee first to learn how to be the boss. And there's too many people trying to jump in boss positions and leader positions, and they don't really have leader attributes, you know what I mean? So I feel that's where things fuck up, because too many people trying to be the chief, and it ain't enough Indians, you know what I mean? And I feel within the music industry, as far as the guys that's from the city, it's just more of a unity thing, because nobody has completely won. Until you sell 10 million records or 5 million records, you can't say that you run the city, or you can't say that, because what happens is these guys drop records and they have their moment. You know what I mean? It's a moment in time where they're buzzing and the whole city loves them, and they're getting booked at clubs and they think they run things. But you got to remember, it's guys that they're in the same position that they was, 15 years ago. You know what I mean? And they still know where. They just people that get played on the radio because the DJs have become their friends, and they always in the club. So the DJ is actually afraid not to play their records because they be with a whole bunch of dirty goons. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think unity is key. You know, if anybody showed us that it was Khaled, he made great music with putting these good artists together and not beefing. And then you seen how everything kind of like broke apart with that, what Khaled was doing when Drake and Meek started beefing, because it caused people to say, I'm Meek's friend or I'm Drake's friend. And then a lot of that movement kind of broke apart. You know what I mean? That was going on where it was like Diddy, Ross, and Drake and Meek, and it was like a big movement, and it kind of slowed down once that beef started. So I think unity is the key.
Yo, it's crazy. And not to be messy, right? Because you could interpret this however you want. Uncle Murda just did a song called The Year in Review. You know, he does his year in wrap up. And he said people was asking him why he didn't help you that night. Now, we're not going to talk about that night because we still got to deal with the situation. But he said people asked him why he helped you that night. And he's like, yo, I ain't come with that nigga. I don't fuck with that nigga, but it's still free tax. And he mentioned it. He emphasized free tax. Like, does that bother you that he would say that? Like, I know y'all knew each other.
Well, I actually don't know what Uncle Murda's talking about. I've never had that discussion with him. You know what I mean? I was cool with Uncle Murda. You know what I mean? I was in the studio with these dudes night after night. You know what I mean? Week straight. And I think where our relationship strained at was when he allowed Game and Wack to shoot a video in pink houses in Bed-Stuy, and the guy Wack was always insinuating how his peoples got Biggie killed, and I thought it was an insult to have him, shoot the video in Brooklyn. So, I had called Uncle Murda and him out about it, and a couple of other guys. I felt like it was wrong to allow them to do that, and I think that's where our relationship got strained, and that's actually how me and Meek's relationship got cool, because Meek, I think they thought at the time that I didn't like the Dream Chasers. I never disliked Meek or the Dream Chasers. I was just stating my opinion, you know what I mean? And when he seen me check Uncle Murda and them for that, you know what I mean? Like, guys reached out to me because they thought I was being biased about, always coming at the Dream Chasers. So when he seen me in pictures with Uncle Murda and chilling with these dudes, and then I came at them, he felt like, yo, this dude is a real dude because he be with them, and he called them out because, guys from Uncle Murda's crew was like in the club with Meek Mill like the week before, and Aces like literally dick riding him. Yeah. You know what I mean? She bucked the goddess to Money and Violence. They was literally dick riding Meek, and then the next week they was in a diss video of Game, like really dissing them, and it was like sad and unfortunate. You know what I mean? A couple of officers told me about the song. I don't really listen to the radio too much, but as you know, like over the years, Uncle Murda's an unsuccessful rapper. This is his only time to shine. The only time of relevancy that he has is when he drops these yearly wrap-ups, which he stole from a rapper, Mad Skills, you know what I mean? And like, he's a good rapper, but his best songs have been stolen. He stole away from Mad Skills, and then Real Niggas Back record was Young Greatness, a rapper from QC, you know what I mean? From Quality Control that the Migos is on. So, you know what I mean? He's not really good. He's an artist that's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, you know what I mean? He's still in the same position that a new artist would be in, you know what I mean? So he has to drop these records each year for relevancy and talk about people, you know what I mean, and disrespectful manners. It's funny, you know what I mean? I like them. I always like them. You know what I mean? I'm going to listen to the new one, you know what I mean? I'm not offended by anything he might have said, but I'm only offended by anything that might not be true, because I've never had that discussion with this guy, so I don't know what he's talking about, you know what I mean?
Speaking of music, it's two things that you just spoke on. Have you heard the 444 album from Jay-Z?
Yeah, definitely. I have it on my MP3. We got MP3s, man.
Me personally, I'm always going to be a Reasonable Doubt head, but this one actually, to me, it felt like it was a complete change, like in Hove, and one of his biggest albums. Speak on 444. What do you think about that?
444 was remarkable. I think Jay-Z has been giving us 444 for years, but he's giving it to us in increments, and now he's giving it to us on a whole entree. You know, man, it's no more appetizers. You know, back in the days, he said on a record, truthfully, I want to rhyme like Common Sense, but I sold 5 mil. I ain't been rhyming like Common Sense. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And basically, he got to the money, and now he's at a point where he has the money, so now he can rap like Common Sense. He can give you the game. You know, on the record, he said, I'm giving you $1 million worth of game for not.
This call is from a federal prison.
He said, I'm giving you $1 million worth of game for $9.99, and I think that was huge, because he was really giving. It was a college course he gave on 444, just from humility of what was going on with his wife and his family. And I think a lot of guys needed to hear that album too, because we treat women so bad that are in our lives, they really sacrifice themselves for us and really love us, and we embarrass them, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And I felt like that was just an album of growth, and he was showing self-growth, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
444 is remarkable as far as, you know, the generational wealth, that's key. You know, we really, you know, as black people, like we have the most, we're the number one consumers. We have the most Gucci, the most this, the most that, but we leave nothing to our kids but outfits and pictures, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so we got to have something to pass down, you know what I mean? And that's what I think the album was great. It was educational.
One other thing, I know we probably only got a minute left, so Meek got locked up for wheeling a motorcycle, violating probation from a case that he had since he was 19. We all know the system. I know you in there with a bunch of people that's going through all of these different things. What is something that you want to say to the people out here, just on your mind about just being locked up, being in the game, being whatever, you know what I mean? Just speak on the prison system.
Well, I'm in federal custody right now, and most people have conspiracies. And what a conspiracy is, basically, you could just know a guy. You could, like, literally live on his block, take a picture with him, and you could end up in jail with him just because they believed that you had knowledge of the crimes that was taking place that he was doing. So, you know, I always was a big advocate of not taking pictures with everybody. And, you know, all I can say is don't, because you could take a and really end up in jail for it just because you knew the guy since you was a kid and you had nothing to do with what was going on. There's a lot of kids in here that's just in jail and they haven't even made over $1,000 and they have RICO charges, and the RICO charge was like created for like John Gotti and people like that. So, you know, it's sad to see what's going on right now with the system, but you know, we know the prison system and the justice system is racial, you know what I mean? And it's evident, you know what I mean? So you just got to stay out of the way. As far as Meek, you know, it's sad to get put away for 2 years, and a guy that's providing for his family and several others, you know what I mean? And a guy that's really out there trying to work and them doing that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, I'm on the phone.
Yo,
yeah.
Don't wild out. Matter of fact, you said you was in the box. What the fuck was you in the box for?
Some kid, man. You know these kids in here get a little light-headed, so you know.
You had to put
God bless you unless you disrespectful, you know what I mean?
You had to just give him some parental guidance, huh?
Yo, what's good, nigga?
Straight.
Took you long enough,
I tried
motherfucker.
to call you twice yesterday.
And what happened?
Hello?
Yeah, what happened?
Nothing. The first time the shit picked right up, it picked right up, and I held on for the recording to play twice. Then the second time, it rung once and went to voicemail.
Oh, shit I ain't see that shit. I ain't hear that shit. Let's get back into the shit. We ain't got much time. So you said you was in the box. Like, how long was you in there? How long was you in the box for?
I don't know, like 38 days, 40 days, something like that.
What was that like? Like, you was in there, you out here, you living the life, you next thing you know, like, you in the, like, what is the box like? It's a cell with a bed in it?
What you say?
I said, what's the box like? It's just like a cell with a bed in it? Like,
yeah, it's just, you know, you double bunked in the cell. You got a bunkie. Some of the time I had a bunkie, and then, you know, you can't use the phone. You can use the phone once a month. You get reading material, so, you know, I was good because that's all I do is read.
Right.
Still get visits every week, so I was good.
Oh, all right. Listen, I want to ask you a question. I don't know if you were aware of it, but you know when you were first arrested last year, I know you had that problem with Whack 100, and he made a post basically saying, "Yo, free tax, let's keep this shit in the street." You know, I don't want to see no niggas locked up. Like, how you feel about that?
I don't feel nothing about that. I don't have any opinion on it. I don't have an opinion on people like that. What I've learned is that, you know, I'm definitely a critic of the game and the culture and stuff like that. And, you know, I ruffle some feathers when I tell the truth, you know what I mean? So sometimes it's just best that I keep certain truths to myself, you know what I mean? Because some people don't deal with reality so much, and they deal with fantasy and facades that they're willing to really like fight and kill and and battle and go to war over lies to try to keep up facades and whatever perceptions that they want to portray for the public. So, what I've learned sitting here is that, sharing truths all the time might not be the most healthy decision to do.
Sharing truths? What you mean by that?
Sharing truths. Most people live lies and they deal with the perception. It's almost like, like with the culture right now with the females and so on Instagram, you might see a girl, it's like, she has a whole bunch of, great looking photos or whatever, but what you got to remember is that they take 100 pictures and they pick the best one out. So when a guy sees them, they like, oh, she doesn't really look like a picture, but maybe she just caught a good angle and she picked the best picture out of 100. And that's what a lot of people do on the internet. They pick the best picture they could portray, and that's the one that you see. You never get to see, them when they wake up with coal in their eyes, or they might be ashy, or they skip the shower that day. They look the best they can, and that's the picture that people want to put out. So when you tell people like, hey, well, this person actually might wake up and look a little bit different, they don't like that. They want to fight the truth, which, because they want you to always see the mask. They don't want you to see what's underneath the mask.
No, that's totally true, my nigga. Like, you see somebody they post and they be in San Juan or some shit, you don't even know that they kids is in ACS or that they running from this or that, or they ain't got no money. Like, they take one picture.
Yeah. It's almost like the fathers who post a picture one time a year with their kids, maybe on Father's Day or birthday, but meanwhile they literally ducking their kids for the rest of the year. They want to put out the perception that they're in their kid's life when they might not be a father. Like, it's a lot of people out there that have kids and they portray that they're good fathers, but they're not necessarily in their kids' lives. They're in their kids' lives just as much as the court mandates them to be in their kids' lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, I want to ask you, did you know, BK Tidal Wave, she went on like a rant, my nigga, after you let off. She was tripping after you got, arrested. You know what that's about? Like, why she went crazy like that?
Well, she trips a lot. She's not the most sane person. I still got love for her. She's on a lot of psych medication. I've done nothing but help her. I've always given her a platform. One time, I was trying to cultivate another podcast for her to have her own, but due to her mental unstableness, it was hard to deal with her. Like, she showed up one day to the studio with a pimp. That was her pimp, and like just weird shit. So it was like, I realized that we couldn't turn her. We couldn't do anything with her as far as business goes or whatever. But people change up when you go to jail. It's nothing new. Anytime you disappear, things happen. Because people feel free to say certain things they might not say in your presence, or they feel liberated to speak on certain things that they might have not spoke on. And that's just how it goes. You just got to accept life for what it is. I deal with truths and reality. I don't really deal with fantasy, and that's what most people deal with.
This call is from a federal prison.
I'm not mad at her, nothing like that. I don't have any malice in my heart towards her.
Yeah. Speaking about truth and reality, I wanted to clear something up, or at least get your thoughts on what's being said. You did at least one, or you did a few interviews with Vlad before you were locked up. You did a few interviews with Vlad, and they're basically saying that the police have been using. They're basically saying that Vlad is a snitch. Like the internet is saying, "Oh, Vlad is a snitch. Don't fuck with him." This, that, and the other. They're saying that he's working with the police.
Vlad is a civilian. Vlad is a civilian. So I don't understand how people could come to the conclusion that Vlad is a snitch. To my understanding of street codes or whatever the things that people go by, a snitch is a person that portrays a certain lifestyle, a gangster lifestyle, or makes a vow to live that lifestyle or principles, and then they go against that code. As far as I know, Vlad has always been a civilian, so I don't understand how Vlad could be a snitch.
All right. Well, is he? I don't want to go too much into something, so please, don't go too far, because I asked you a stupid ass question. I don't want the shit to be used against you. But is he cooperating as far as you know? Do you know that?
Is who cooperating?
Vlad, with the case against you. They're saying that basically the police are using him against you. I don't know if that's true.
Do not listen to everything that the internet says. You understand? The internet is the internet. What it is now is that you have a freeway of free reporters, people that have not been trained to report, people that are not trained journalists, and they just speak on things that they have no idea about. They come up with conclusions and incorrect hypotheses on things, and they just say things. Vlad has nothing to do with anything. You understand what I'm saying? As far as I know, with my situation or anybody else's situation. You know what I mean? That's just people talking. It's poppycock. You know what I mean? The internet, they say anything. Like, you know, for instance, someone called me one day and said, "Hey, they said that you were in court and you screamed that you're innocent." And I'm like, when did this happen? Because, you know, the Daily News and the Times are all my court dates. If they didn't report it, it didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just certain things. You can't believe these blogs and these people are just, you know, they hire a couple people with phones and they just tell them to be a journalist. These people are not trained journalists. They don't even understand what it is to be one. So you can't just believe everything you read on these blogs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was a lot of speculation with the way the case is going. But like I said, once this shit is all over and you get back out, you know, I'm sure you'll speak on everything that's been spoken about. But I definitely want to clear that up. You know what's crazy? You know, we spoke last week about the Uncle Murda situation, the shit that he was talking about, the wrap up for 2017. You know, Mad Skills wound up coming up with a diss record against Uncle Murda. And fucking, the shit was crazy. The shit this nigga said in the fucking diss record. This nigga said his name should be on a funeral home. He said his government name is a funny ass name, like a square name. It should be on a funeral home and shit. This shit was hilarious, nigga.
I didn't hear it. I actually didn't hear either song. Like, I've been hearing about it and about what was said with the song he made and the song that Mad Skills made or whatever, but I actually haven't really heard either one. I don't really listen to the radio too much. I listen to Breakfast Club, you know what I mean? I listen to Charlamagne, that's his show, but I don't really indulge too far out of it, you know what I mean? People are like, you know, you don't know who people are sometimes, and you find out when you're in here. You know what I mean? Casanova said it in one of his raps before. You know what I mean? When you're in jail, you really see who people are. And, you know, that's what I've seen with the industry with a lot of people. And, people switch up, you know what I mean? Which is expected because, you know, if you think that you're a real person, you got to know that it's only a few of you. So you can't be mad at people when they being fake because you got to know that it's an honorable thing to be you. It's an honorable thing to be a stand-up guy. So when you see a whole bunch of people moving like lawn chairs and beach chairs and they folding so easily, it's understandable. You know what I mean? I understand.
Yeah. Well, you spoke on Charlamagne. How was y'all relationship? Like now, you still speak to him? Everything's still good with y'all? He's still on?
I speak to Charlamagne almost every day. Almost every single day. Like, the only time I didn't really get to speak to him was when I was in the box just now. But I always speak to Charlamagne. He just was in Grenada. He was out there in Grenada with his family or whatever. He's back now. But, yeah, Charlamagne is a good friend. He's a loyalist.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because he was on his live one day on Instagram. He was talking about, I haven't spoken to him in a minute, whatever. So, yeah, it's good to know that y'all still on the up and up and shit. Yo, did you hear about Mace? Mace came up with a song and was like, he like dropped your name in the song against Cam. He was like dissing Cam and shit in the song. Did you hear about that shit?
Yeah, I heard it actually. I heard the song when I was in the box. Yeah, I heard the song. It's a good record. You know, Mace can rap. Mace can rap. I think it's healthy. You know what I mean? I think it's healthy for battles and stuff.
This call is from a federal prison.
It's hip hop nature. You know, Cam been throwing shots at him for years, so he finally came back and said something. You know what I mean?
Did you hear Cam's song Back to Mace?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I recently heard it. It was, I don't know. No opinion on it. It was lackluster. Because, you know, I'm a Cameron fan as far as his rapping skills, and I didn't really think he did his best on that. Maybe he rushed it to try to come back with a quick response, and I think sometimes that might be people downfall, or they let the spectators push them. Like, you know, I think, people like, oh, he came back in 24 hours or however long it takes. And people like, I don't think you got to come back in 24 hours. Like, if you come back in a month and it's great, it's great. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how long it takes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So So I think maybe he might have came back too fast. Maybe he rushed it because I don't know. I didn't really dig it.
Yeah, they said he was on tour. He just went on like some to some random studio or some shit like that. Matter of fact, speaking of battles, I know you've been in the whole year, so you heard like the Nicki and Remy beef. Remember the Nicki and Remy both? What did you think about that? Because Nicki dropped a song. I wasn't really, I thought it was cool, but it wasn't like what Remy did. What did you think about that?
Remy's a battle rapper. Remy's a battle rapper, so you expect that from her. Nicki is a person who came out with hits from the very beginning, So the thing is that what we have to see now, even though Remy, to me, won the battle with Sheetha or whatever, but can she win the battle with the songs? Because this is what Nicki does. Nicki makes hit songs. Can she make hit songs? You know what I mean? And that's the battle that, counts in the industry. The numbers count. So that's what it's really about right now. Yeah, you maybe can out-rap her, but you will probably out-rap a lot of people. It's a lot of rappers out there that's in the street that can out-rap a lot of people. It's a lot of ball players that can out-ball a lot of NBA players, but can you play in the league? You know what I mean? And that's what it is. Nicki is playing in the league. So, that's the difference. You understand?
Yeah, absolutely. Now you got Cardi B thrown in there. You got Nicki, Remy joined up with Lil Kim. Cardi B is a new age rapper, and you got Nicki. What do you think of Cardi B jumping in the game with all of these female rappers?
I think it's great. I'm always a big supporter of Cardi B. I think Cardi B might be the biggest threat to the crown, actually. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily Remy, you know what I mean? And I think Nicki could really, Nicki could play that boss move and just have an all-female tour, squash it with Remy and just do it for the ladies and have a Nicki, Remy, and Cardi B tour. You know what I mean? That would be huge for the game. You know what I mean? Because nobody's getting nothing out of the beefing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't see that happening. Nicki has never shown that that's the type of person she is. But, we got 20 seconds left. We got 30 seconds left. I guess you're going to call one more time. But if you got anything that you want to say to people right now, let it be known.
I don't want to say nothing to the people. Just God bless, continue to quest, and just work stronger. I'm good. Mentally, physically, everything, so nobody really has to worry about me. I'm a free man in my mind, and I will be free, so I'm not really worried about